Hello, hello. Welcome to the In-Between, where we talk about what's in,
what's out,
and everything in between. I'm Natasha Mobu.
And I'm Toni Ade. Let's get in between some things.
And we have a special guest.
As you guys can see, we're being really friendly this year. 2025, we are very generous.
We are, you know.
A communal vibe.
Exactly. It takes a village.
We have he's a lot of things. He's our manager, one of our managers. We have a management team.
Behind the camera.
He's one half of our management team. He is a management consultant. Don't play with him. He's also co-owner of a trad ready-to-wear and bespoke brand that ships internationally, based in Lagos and Abuja. Don't play with him.
Period.
And yeah, he's a sports enthusiast, a Nigerian politics enthusiast. And yeah, Chibu, welcome to the show.
Thank you for coming.
Of course.
We appreciate this.
Anything for y'all.
Y'all say hello to our in-betweeners, that's what we call them.
In-betweeners,
IBTFC.
Hello. How y'all doing? We here.
We're here.
Okay, Chibu, what's in with you this week? What's new?
Yeah, what are you up to?
Shoot. Work, Super Bowl, sports,
gosh.
That is
all
today.
that.
Who's your team? Like, I have to ask, but who's your team?
I'm a free agent. Like,
yeah.
Okay, no loyalty.
He's watching for fun.
I'm in between.
Good one.
Good one.
Are you looking forward to Kendrick Lamar's halftime show?
I'm actually interested if he's gonna perform. Not
Of course he has, because that's all he has.
He might not.
That's all he has.
Oh, there's a rumor he's gonna perform not like us. He said. Oh,
that's all he has. No shade. He should really thank Drake. He should give a little thank
How do
you
y'all
speech.
feel about Lil Wayne? One thing that's in this week, Lil Wayne had a whole PSA saying he's not coming to the Super Bowl this year in New Orleans. And I know there's a whole controversy about Lil Wayne not hosting in New Orleans, even though it's been New Orleans for years. What do you think about that? About like Lil Wayne not coming, and just like the whole Kendrick performing in NOLA and all that kind of stuff.
I don't understand Kendrick performing. I mean, I do, but like not in NOLA, because usually they get people that are like from there, or like have a historical. So you think like, oh, Cash Money, but
we did YMCMB tour.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I can't lie. Baby, aka Birdman, he actually dodged Me Too so crazy. Cause you really, Diddy's not the only nigga that should be in jail right now. No shade. But aside from that, I feel like I don't see it for Kendrick like that. I'm sorry, whatever. He won the beef or whatever, but
Barely.
I just think that he should thank Drake. That's just how I feel. I feel like he should shout him out.
And me personally, I can't lie though. Like this, I feel like this beef resetted Drake. I feel like it resetted him to. He cut that ugly ass hair off. The childish beats. He's fine again.
Take the breath
I know
out.
whatever album is dropping next is gonna be
hungry.
great.
Yeah,
he's hungry. You know, I feel like it
He
reset
is.
him. Like you know.
But
I do think it's not nice. I feel like they humiliated him for no reason. I
feel like he could eat that though, because he humiliated Meek Mill. Is it a world tour or your girls tour? That was crazy.
But Meek Mill is humiliatable.
But I don't really care about Lil Wayne in 2025. I didn't even know that he like was boycotting the Super Bowl. Who cares? Did anyone move? Did y'all care? No. Okay. Thank you. It didn't do me like that. Honestly, this is the first time hearing of it. So what else is in? What have we noticed in pop culture?
Personally though? What's in your life?
What have I been into? Okay, well
You're
we're
in Dallas.
We're actually shooting in Dallas.
Yes,
y'all. You know, I'm in their ends. It's been cute. I love a reset weekends. I was actually telling Toni the other day, like I'm starting to feel burnt out. Like work, school, back to back, like different obligations and stuff. But a couple of things to do, but she always get it done.
Period.
Hello. But yeah, it's been cute. It's been a little reset, family, friends. I like Dallas. She's cute. You know,
Love
it's a nice
Dallas.
vibe. What about you? What's been in with you?
What has been in with me? Honestly, work. Dang, we're actually old.
No,
The
we're
only thing
actually
is always work.
washed. We're washed.
It's adulting. And getting ready for the year. I feel like the year is like warming up.
Yeah.
So it's like making plans for the year, you know, figuring out all the... I feel like once January ends, the year just starts to pick up. Like February, Super Bowl, Valentine's Day, and then the rodeo starts, and then it's spring break, and then it's like birthdays. And so I feel
birthdays
birthdays are loading.
And once they start, they don't stop.
Loading. But yeah, I feel like the year's picking up. So I feel like I'm trying to get into solidify my routines. I feel like I've been doing a good job of like staying on my like New Year resolutions of like, you know, gym, work, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like I've just been...
It's a nice start to the year.
Yeah,
we're picking up. We're picking up and we're
picking
taking
up.
off. So let's see. It's only Feb. Let's see what happens later on down the line.
But what were you saying? You saw what this week?
So I'm so very sorry.
I'm scared.
Mind you, it's just so crazy how the timing works. So, okay, little backstory for y'all. Just a few days ago, people were talking about, obviously it was the Grammys, and honestly, this was the best Grammys in a long time. Did y'all watch it?
Yeah. I think the viewership was the highest since pre-COVID.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it dropped a lot during COVID.
The performances were great. The outfits were good. Like it gave like celebrity culture again. It wasn't just anything. And I was kind of upset that I didn't watch live. But anyway, I bring up the Grammys to say that there was a specific interview in which they spoke to Ashake, which is like, I can't lie, this is the scariest he's ever looked to me personally, but
honestly, what happened to my Shayla?
No, like he looked
like one thought, like dang.
Like it's giving Kodak Black or whatever. Like I don't know what's going on with Lee Gali, but yeah, they talked to him on the carpet, and it just really annoyed me seeing like Nigerians like basically they were trying to act like they're making fun of the way he was speaking, but it's like how do y'all want him to sound, right? So that was one thing. I was already peeping that like, oh, let's
even stay there before you move on to the next thing.
Okay.
I think it's very hypocritical and very stupid how, let's talk about, because we're Nigerian.
Yeah.
So I'm a Nigerian specifically. I hate how Nigerians, like, y'all are confused. Which one is it? Like, y'all want someone, you're so proud that music that's like in a traditional dialect, Yoruba music, it can go far, and people that don't speak the language are hopping
picking
on.
Up on it, vibing.
But when the same man who we know primarily speaks Yoruba is speaking English, of course it's gonna sound like a Yoruba person speaking English.
Like, what do you
so
want
why
to
is
sound
everyone?
like?
But if he was twisting his mouth and saying 24th of June,
Exactly.
So that's just so stupid. Like, why
you can't win? But the thing is, you can't win with jobless people who are committed to hating. And I'm so sorry. Like, get something doing. So that was already one thing, and we're seeing like all the commentary. It was very weird, and it was mostly Nigerians.
Maintain your accent. Don't be forced. Don't be twisting your mouth to sound Western. Like,
literally.
It's stupid.
But as you're maintaining the accent, what do you and India Love talk about? I'm so sorry. Like, I just think, and I want him to actually. I'm telling y'all, even like a good 2 minute, 120-second conversation. What are y'all talking about? And then they came out to say, okay, backstory. India Love, if you don't know who she is, IG model of time,
OG like, Tumblr babe,
literally Tumblr baddie,
OG
the first
baddies.
Instagram baddie, like probably like prehistorical fineness.
She don't know used to date
cool.
The Game, or
she did.
She was gonna pick her popped in the park. Like,
what is that one boxer, Davion?
Short and
he's
like
short,
unfortunate looking.
Okay, I didn't say that.
I did, but
Ari. And the guy, I remember the guy. He converted to Islam and went to go marry someone else, and said like, "Yeah, I was only dating her for fun." Yeah, it was a thing because dating for a minute and they're public. And then he converted to Islam and said, "Yeah, I can't marry you."
Okay, that's
yeah. It was nice of him, but
he put the kufi on and was done.
He was done.
But yeah, so there were some pictures that were. And when we say leaked, I'd be paparazzi called. Like, I don't know which one. But anyway, pictures were out of Ashake and India Love, long stem roses before Valentine's. Like, you know what? If it was PR, great PR, awesome. So, of course, we were confused because it's confusing. And it came out to say that.
To this, Ashake has been having, like, tattoos aside, he's left YBNL.
Yeah,
he's also left
true.
Empire. So he's been having some kind of like interesting behaviors.
And he didn't show up in the era.
He's a new era. He hasn't been adjusted with anyone he was friends with before. So everyone's kind of like, what's going on with him?
Literally, like, what's up with Mr.
The song
Money?
he just uploaded was on Audio Mac and on like on.
That's very
weird,
interesting.
He's been acting kind of like strange, but keep going.
Yeah, so all this happened, and then the pictures dropped with Ashake and India Love. So of course everyone was like, "I'm sorry, what's tea?" And then it sparked discussions about like how Nigerian artists, specifically Nigerian artists from the slums, they get on and they're with like the ambiguous girls that like you really don't have much in common with, etc. And then it came out that they're shooting a music video and she's like the lead girl. So what were y'all's thoughts originally? Number one, when you saw Ashake with India Love, and then number two, when we found out that this was for a music video, did your opinion change? Like, how did you feel in general about this whole thing?
Do you want to go first?
I was just confused. Like,
it's confusing.
Exactly. Like, I was just wondering, like, if you guys are sitting down like this, what are y'all talking about? I saw a tweet like, they must be comfortable in silence. Like, I really don't know what he's gonna say. You want to listen to my new song or what? Like,
I don't even know what India Love sounds like.
But when I found out,
she don't even talk much either. Actually,
she don't.
When I found out for a music video, honestly, I've never heard her talk.
Yeah, I never say it.
Literally, I only see like TMZ pictures of her with whoever she's with.
Various,
So, I don't even know. But when I found out that it was for a music video, it didn't really change much.
Right.
Ashake has been trending in this direction anyway, even though it wasn't India.
Let's talk about that. What do you mean by that? Trending in this direction? His ex?
Yeah, like.
Let's describe the ex.
All right. Non-Nigerian,
of course. Chick.
Non-African.
Tick.
Yeah. So he's been trending in that way.
Ambiguous. We can't really figure out where she's from.
Tracy Ellis Ross could be from numerous places.
Tracy Ellis Ross has been catching straight on our pod. I don't know why. We love Tracy.
But there's a specific type of person. We do love Tracy. She's fab, for sure. But I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very like a specific type of person. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And I love that you said that because I was going to talk about Shelly Poppy and Wizkid also. I'm so sorry. We were all there when Wizkid got blasted on WhatsApp with his first BM, who's his Nigerian BM, whatever. And there were discussions about colorism and showing favor to his kid that's like a half caste.
Yeah.
Ooh, can we say half caste?
Honestly, let's talk about it because we're gonna get into it later on in a different episode.
Trump's America, we can't get canceled.
Exactly. I was gonna say that. In a different episode, we're gonna talk about this, but and we said this last episode, end wokeness.
But also, let's
political. And I feel like what is politically correct in one country is not incorrect in the. I don't know. We can say half caste.
They wanted to beat Tyler for saying she was colored. She is. She's not.
Like half caste is not a bad word, guys. I'm sorry. It's just half caste.
So there's a trend with specifically, like, to get back to the point I was trying to make. Like, there's a trend with. We've noticed Nigerian artists from the slums, they get on, and then as soon as they get on, it's a Dominican, it's a Rican, it's a like it's that kind of vibe. So he said trending that way. I don't think it was shocking as much as it was surprising. And then it seems like that's a trend across the diaspora. Like there's a specific trophy in the ambiguity of the women.
And I do think that it's like I like that people mentioned it was like a slums thing. No shade to people from the bottom, but like someone like Davido, he married someone who was unambiguous, very Igbo. Yeah, because you don't need to prove anything. And I feel like sometimes there is, because it's not even in America, where like people talk about how the NFL is becoming, everyone in the NFL is kind of like low-key like mixed. And I feel like it's a thing where people from a certain background feel like, okay, I've made it. My final show of making it is like who I'm with, which with everyone, as a man or a woman, who you're with is your trophy. So it's like they feel like, they feel like if I have this next to me, it's like I've really solidified that I've arrived. But like, because like you said,
like the NFL point is interesting because a lot of these people,
they're not always from the
they go to like prep schools, so these are kind of the people they like.
A lot of them mix themselves though with white moms, and your mothers are who push culture in their homes. If your mother is white, it's like if you're from a multi-ethnic background, like let's say you're Igbo and you're let's talk about Karen, our friend Karen. She's Igbo and Yoruba, but she identifies more with Igbo because that's her maternal side. So I feel like if you're mixed and your mom is white, it's not shocking they're going to be with a white woman because that's what you associate with, you know. So
So Toni, what were your personal feelings when you saw Asha with India Love?
I think same with Shibu. Like it was just like okay, and then once we figured out for a music video, it didn't change anything because why is that the person? And no shade to India Love. India Love is gorgeous, like we said, the OG IG girl. But like, why is that your lead? Because we can talk about Rema, who just dropped Is It a Crime? His main girl was a dark skinned, slim, unambiguous, very Yoruba looking girl. You know, I feel like it's all those things that you do are intentional. I feel like if you're intentional about keeping your sound African and Yoruba, why not? Why are you not? Because even before India Love became his, who was it? Was it Alessa Sky or some? He had some person as his video vixen last year. And that was kind of like what is going on? So I feel like even outside of that, like because when he first came out, when TJ Moore was doing his videos, it was very African, very much like people in Nigeria. It was choir, shot in Lagos in a choir. You know how different.
They never see him coming.
Old girl was in the video though. Was it? What's her name? Something Miles.
Who?
Which one?
Oh, Bria Miles. Okay, in Nigeria. But all the videos were very like African. You can tell it was shot in Nigeria. They had like African elements. And then as time went on, now you're shooting a video. The song sounds one way. The video is based in Utah. It doesn't make sense. So I feel like I don't know what he's going through.
It reminds me of like, so like what was it like 2011, 2012, like when Afrobeat artists were trying to appear.
American,
they were now having like foreign video.
But he doesn't need to do that though. Like you don't have to do that.
He appeals by being himself. So it's just, but the thing is, when we talk about that being himself, we all know some international students or, you know, people that came here for school, like, you know, settled and their preferences. So I feel like it's a mindset thing. Is that shady?
You say
I think that he's a reflection of, yes, I feel like it's not just an artist thing. I think like we spoke earlier about, it's throughout the diaspora and it's a reflection of just a certain mindset. Like we know that even though Nigeria is a black nation, there's colorism, there's proximity to whiteness that's valued and all that kind of stuff. We all know people who have certain preferences, even though that doesn't reflect where they come from.
Yeah, and that's for sure their preference.
Yeah, it is.
And you're allowed to have your preference.
Where do you think those preferences come from? Because like, I feel like it's because they haven't been exposed. It's exciting to them, right?
So you think it's just the newness of it? It's not necessarily the proximity to whiteness?
It could be both.
I think it could be both.
Yeah. I think in Ashake's case, it's probably both.
Yeah.
Like,
and then you've seen these people before you got on. You're like, oh, she's bad. Like,
because think about it. If you were a guy, you grew up watching Indian Love on everywhere. You grew up watching any insert IG model girl here, and now you have millions of followers. You have access, and I can back her. It's like, why not? You know. Yeah. But at the same time, too, like Ashake, like what's going on with him?
I don't know.
And the fact that she has to go, she won her IG story. It's like, it's just for a video, guys. It's just for video. She has to come.
Nigerians have bad mouth. Like,
but I've never seen someone come out and say like, hey guys, it's not for real. Like, oh, yeah. And I don't believe you anyway.
Her friend must have like hit her up and said like, you gotta say something.
Right. No, they're probably DMing her like, you were Ashake. Because even guys, I feel like a lot of times these things happen and it's only Nigerian like what's going on. Right. But even Nigerian men were like, what is all this?
Yeah. Because even you say you're confused. I saw the same sentiments. Like,
it was a global confusion.
Yeah. Collective confusion. But I mean, thoughts and prayers to him and his 4 earrings and 6 face tats. But I wanted to ask the question about, because we've spoken about preferences and people being entitled to what they prefer and what they like.
Yeah.
Do artists owe us, and I'm going to ask this question because I want to talk about Kanye. Oh my God. But do artists owe us any kind of integrity? Do they owe us a stance? Like, for instance, Kanye has been tweaking. He's been tweaking for a good 5-6 years lately. And I feel like his mom is ashamed of him.
Even more than 5-6 years, because Taylor Swift, that was crazy,
over a decade. It was acceptable crazy.
Well, like,
it wasn't really.
He was all right.
It was eccentric, but it wasn't to the level, like, he's posting, he literally has said the word Jew maybe 85 times. For no reason. And now he's intentionally, this is the Black Yeezus, George Bush doesn't care about Black people. Now he's very much I stand with Nazis, like very like MAGA. I love Trump. I want to kiss Elon in the mouth. Like very that. And the switch has been crazy, but he's been trending this way for a while now. And the Grammy stuff with Bianca being naked.
He was the first nigga on MAGA wave, no shade. He was the first one. Yeah, and they were hollering him. They're like, how dare he? Now Snoop Dogg. Now it's all of them.
And that's exactly, so literally, so tied back into like artist and integrity, we saw Snoop Dogg that denounced Trump his first round. And Trump actually has been quoted as saying, my first presidency, everyone hated me. Now they want to be my friend. So Snoop Dogg that was talking out about Trump now is performing his thing and like doubling down on it. Nelly's performed with him. Like a lot of Black artists are kind of reneging on their previous stances. And it's like cool now to be right wing. So do y'all think that artists owe us any kind of explanation for their political affiliations? Like, do you think that you have a responsibility to people as a whole when you have that kind of platform?
Depends if you're looking up to them. Like,
but that's like, aside from like what the public might think, like, do you think that as an artist, you have a duty of care to the people that, you know, like that you, like your community?
I feel kind of mixed on it because some people are just genuinely stupid. Like I feel like some people 100%. That we look up to and you're looking up for them to have a political stance or this or that, they don't have a stance. They have a stance, it's a bad stance. You know what I mean? And like sometimes it really is dribble that ball and shut up. But at the same time too, you are a figure and you have a voice and you have a platform. So I don't know, I kind of see both sides because if they're saying what I want them to say, use your platform. If they're not, it's kind of like, ooh. So I don't know. I feel like, and at the same time too, because even outside of like political platforms, like right now, I remember like whenever Rihanna wore that Swarovski dress, and they're like, you know, you're a woman, kids look up to you, and she's like, I'm not anyone's role model, I'm just me. So I kind of see both sides of it, right? And I feel like they're their own person, and like Kanye, because Kanye, he used his platform for when he did, and not using it for evil. But one time it was for good, and now it's for evil. So it's kind of like, it's hard to say because he's always used his platform, and now it's for the worst. You know, so I don't know. Like,
we're kind of coming down hard on him
kind of
because
hard
it doesn't align with what we would want.
Because sometimes it's harmful, and I feel like in Kanye's case, everyone can see that he's tweaking, but someone else could say some crazy things and people might actually be swayed. You know what I mean? Right. So it's like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say.
And even in the tweet, people are being swayed right now because influence is influence regardless.
Yeah, literally.
To Tony's point, I kind of agree where if the same way like you gain an audience is the same way I think you should be critiqued. Like Kanye, all Kanye's OG fans are probably like the stereotypical progressive, educated,
pro-Black,
pro-Black,
right?
But now it's like, okay, like, we should hold him accountable to that.
Right.
Snoop Dogg, what are we holding him accountable to? Like, in the 90s, he was
gin
like,
and juice.
smoking, man. Yeah. So I don't see
And I do agree. If you make your
matters.
platform about being a social justice
And let's talk
warrior, all
about
that kind of
Burna Boy.
stuff.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's so it's okay, all that
Exactly,
kind of stuff.
so it's okay.
Even no shade, Jackie Aina. If you try to use your platform and change it into some kind of like political ideal, you need to follow with that. You can't just make political charged music, and then when stuff like that happens, you'll say I can't have Nigerians. Why not?
Are you fella or are you not?
Yeah. So I feel like honestly,
it really
depends on how they prop they prop their persona,
right?
You know,
yeah.
Some people we know they don't want to be affiliated with politics or just even anything important, which is they're right. But like, if you're gonna be I'm for the people. When it's time to step up, you need to be on that front line, and people don't be.
Yeah,
they don't. It's very true. I think I agree with both of you guys. Like, I think that the way you're introduced, don't introduce us to a vibe you can't maintain. I'm sorry, people change, mindsets change. Right. But if you're gonna speak out on certain things, if you're gonna push this certain kind of ideal, then you have to be consistent. And I feel like it makes you look so flaky and like lame and stupid when you're not. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about that.
And it gets to the point people just pity you.
Yeah, because now it's just like the way we're looking at him, it's a spectacle of insanity. Like he's just so, from the Whippets to the Bianca of it all to the, also question, do y'all think she's a victim in this or that she's willing? Because I've seen a lot of like imposed victimization of her, like, oh my God, someone has to save the poor white woman, like look what he's doing to her, oh my God.
No,
what do y'all think?
I don't think she's a victim.
I think she lives for it. I think she loves it.
And we all know that
she's an educator. I think she's an
architect. She has a master's in architecture.
Yeah.
And one thing about Kanye, he loves a muse, and they love being a muse. Like they love being his doll. Like I feel like it's mutually beneficial for them. I don't think it's like a thing where she's held hostage.
Same. And I think
she loves having her titties out. That's her right.
Literally. And you know what? More power to her. Whatever.
And the boobs.
I'm glad they kicked them out the Grammys though. Please.
They weren't invited. So like, even if she wasn't naked, they were never gonna be there. They were not invited.
Like, please
and
be going.
He was over here saying like, yeah, I beat the Grammys, babe. Okay,
we weren't looking for you. I'm sorry.
But on this topic of black men and Nigerian men just acting a mess and a fool and an ass, our embassy.
And he's having a spokesperson. He's actually going to be the spokesman for you.
That's why we have him here. Yes. It was a trap. Thank you. Okay, but let's get in between some things. So our in between today, our main topic, our in between. There has been a rise in this rhetoric and the fetishization of Nigerian men specifically about how they're tricks, they're providers, they're so good, they can treat a woman.
We with the Africans.
We with the Africans. Oh, she with the Africans, go home, all that kind of. There's been over the past few years. Exactly. I think it started around the pandemic.
Post-Wakanda.
Oh no, Black Panther. Yeah.
It was Black Panther.
It started around there. And so now it's been going, the narrative has just been going up and up and up. But in reality, in communities, we don't always see that.
Yeah.
And we also see that experience differs across groups. So kind of want to talk about this whole Nigerian men God complex. How did it start? Where's it going? How much truth is there to it?
Yeah.
And let's get into that.
And personally, what do Nigerian men themselves feel about this? This is the first and only time we're asking a man for his opinion. So y'all take it in and enjoy. Thank you so much.
We've been watching in slow-mo.
Oh my goodness.
Play it back if you need to.
But yeah, so I want to read a tweet. I've been seeing so much discourse. I don't even know what side this discourse, but this specific tweet reads, African men have been reduced to tricking, kind of trendy, and I don't know why they're so with it, whatever. And then someone quoted and said, I've been talking about this forever, that tricking stereotype is kind of weird. And so this sparked some discourse, and people were saying how like, how come some Nigerian men kind of feed into the stereotype? How come they love it? But obviously some men don't like it. Is it true? Blah, blah, blah. So like, let's ask the men in question, what do you feel about this stereotype that Nigerian men are tricks, the providers, they're just the biggest, what do they call it?
Well, I don't think they're tricks.
Okay.
I just feel like it's our culture as Nigerian men to provide. Take back, let's go to like, for example, now like, what, pre-colonial time?
Okay, Okonkwo.
Yeah, exactly. Okonkwo, like, maybe Okonkwo was farming and like he wants to like impress someone, like, hey, take this tuber of yam. Like,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
that
that's what we do.
Guys. I love it.
No, literally, give me that yam.
Yeah. So like, that's what we like. It's a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
So one of our, I think, to establish ourselves as a man, you got to show that you're a provider. You got to show like, okay, if you want X, it's not like saying like, oh, you want this Birkin or whatever. This is like, oh, like, yeah, I got you. I can do this. Yeah. Oh, your friends are coming. I can do this.
Exactly.
But there is a fine line between like being a provider and tricking.
What's the line? So what makes you a trick versus a provider and like just representing your community? Where do we cross into trick territory? TT.
Tricking is like almost like, well, it's like, oh, flying out. Or,
okay.
Okay.
Tricking is flying out. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Yes, no.
Why is that tricking?
Let him land.
Okay.
Why,
No, like flying, like not the flying out part, but like you get what I'm saying. Like
I don't.
Like when she lands.
like hosting someone and like them paying for something so you can provide like
transaction.
a service.
So the transactional part is what makes it tricky.
Yeah.
Okay,
quick pro quo.
Like some dudes just want to vibe. Like make sure everyone around them's having a good time.
Right.
Their love language could be like they're a cheerful giver.
That's your love language. Okay.
Yeah, so like that's what I think about it.
Okay, fair. That's very fair. And I think to your point, like there is a difference in, because all this rhetoric that we've been talking about, like the whole Nigerian men tricking PR, it's coming in America. Exactly. Yeah. It's very Western.
Yeah.
And we know that we live in an individualistic society. Like it's not really, this is kind of a culture shock to people who come from a communal society where everyone does for everybody. Like what's mine is yours kind of thing. But it's just different here. And I feel like also it's like, it's kind of reflective of what the Black community in America is used to.
Yeah.
Is that controversial?
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think that Africans that are like 1 or 2 generations removed from Africa or currently in Africa, we go about dating a different way that Americans do as a whole, especially Black Americans. Yeah. But low key, I want to bring up the fact that like, so in America, Nigerian men are fetishized because of this whole like, provider, blah, blah, blah. And we glorify the transactional nature of dating. Yeah. But it's funny because I've been seeing more and more tweets coming out of 234 Twitter, Nigerian Twitter, talking about how Nigerian women are so evil, they've ruined dating in Africa, that it's so transactional, this and that. But my thing is, if you Nigerian men are saying that this is how we date, right? Because I will see men talking about how like they ruined dating, that everything's about money, money, money. But then I'll see them talk about the most of the West, and I'll talk about their white or non-African counterparts and how they have to. I remember this one guy, he was talking about how can I ask my girl to shower? That she won't shower, the white woman. And I feel like sometimes the standard and the bar is just so much lower for like people non-Nigerian or non-Black period women. Yeah. I think this Nigerian, because even let's be real, because we are Nigerian women, and me and Natasha, even one time on the set of Engine, this girl, we met her, cute. We're like, hi, how are you? Just talking about each other, and we're like, yeah, we're Nigerian. She asked us Nigerian, like, yeah. It's like, oh my gosh, this Nigerian guy. She's going down a list of her with Nigerian guy. What do you think this means?
I'm so sorry. Can y'all stop doing that? Can y'all stop doing that? It's very crazy. Woman, it's crazy but corny. I can't lie. If I meet you and we're doing hi and byes, the next word out of your mouth should not be, oh my God, so this Nigerian man I'm dating, and can you tell me how to, I'm trying to vibe and catch a vibe. I'm trying to chill.
But to that point, like, I feel like as Nigerian women, and the things that African American, my friends tell me about dating Nigerian men, the standard for what they will take from an African American woman, the bar is lower. And I feel like even more so when it's a white woman sometimes. Oh yeah. And I feel like, so whenever people say like, oh, Nigerian women in Nigeria specifically are transnational, are tough, or this or that. But like, y'all take way more BS from, and not used to, because Shivu is a holy man.
He is. He's very wholesome.
Wholesome, modest. But I feel like it's just interesting because like we as a society parade this whole Nigerian man provides this and that. But then when it comes to providing for Nigerian women, because there's many households where the woman is really the breadwinner, enough, but the man will be positioned as a breadwinner. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or when it's a non-Nigerian woman, like I was saying earlier, now it's a thing where, oh my gosh, people just want to take. So it's kind of like contradictory. What do you guys think about that?
So I feel like this is so like nuanced and there's levels to this, because I agree for sure that like throughout the diaspora, and we're going to keep going back and forth, in Nigeria and then also in the Black community, a lot of women, it's low-key very matriarchal, even though we kind of portray things like it's patriarchal. Women are the backbone for a lot of families, a lot of households. Like women provide, women do this and that. But in Nigeria, there's more added pressure to live up to the optics of the man being the provider and all that kind of stuff. And I do think that in a society in which a man is supposed to be provider, there's additional pressure on both ends to keep up that like facade
and play your role.
Exactly. So like you'll see women slipping their card to their man and stuff like that, like little things like that. And we also know that like it's just like there's egos involved, and I feel like when we bring it back to the West and like dating and how different people have different expectations, there's a spectrum, like you said. There's like I feel like you expect more. Familiarity breeds comfort and disrespect, I think.
Yeah.
And so if it's a Nigerian woman, you might be more comfortable doing certain things that you wouldn't do with other people. But on the flip side, I've spoken to African-American women, Caribbean women, whatever, that date Nigerian men, and they say that they feel as though they kind of look at them as like playthings, like
as
this
a placeholder.
Placeholder.
And
like,
I'll treat you good because that's my auto setting.
Yeah, exactly.
But really, I don't really value
this is how we date. This is what we do anyway. So it's not that deep, and it's just whatever. But ultimately, this is not my final destination.
And you will hear Nigerian men say like, "Oh yeah, like I can't marry a non-Nigerian. I can't marry this person, but we're having a good time now." But while you're having a good time, you're disparaging Nigerian women. So it's kind of like,
do you feel objectified? Like in post-Wakanda America, with all the Nigerian men, we with the Drewski skits.
Objectified.
Yeah, with the Drewski was A1.
You know, it was actually too funny. But like in this kind of setting, and we all grew up in, well, I mean, you grew up in Niger too, but we kind of have seen, we've lived long enough to see the shift that we always discuss.
Yeah, for sure.
From like the Ebola jokes that I heard in 5th grade. Hey, we've seen that shift from that to like the pro-Nigerian. Oh my God, like I love champs.
I want to come to Lagos in December. Take me with you, please.
Yeah. So in this setting, do you feel objectified? Do you feel like when you meet someone, or like a woman specifically, even though like, I mean, obviously, you know, off the mark, whatever. But when you meet someone, do you feel like you see someone's eyes light up when they hear that you're Nigerian? Like, how do you feel? How does that make you feel in this context?
Yeah, for sure. Objective. Like before, when you used to say like, "Oh, you're Nigerian."
Yeah, he's a person.
Before, when you used to say you're Nigerian, like, "Oh, like I know this person from Tanzania."
No, literally.
Like,
everyone has a map now.
Bro,
we know exactly what Nigeria is now.
But now, when you say you're Nigerian, it's like, okay, how can they like capitalize off you?
Right.
If not you, like what you can provide.
Right.
And I'll start asking, "Oh, can I meet like other dudes like you?" Like,
that's crazy.
Me to your friends. Blah,
right.
blah, blah. And they start trying to get, you know, I guess acquainted. I do feel objectified.
Yeah.
Like, so you, like we said, you're wholesome.
I wish I could gatekeep. You know.
Really? So we said you're wholesome and you're off the market, but like for your Nigerian friends who are not off the market, all that kind of stuff, how do you think they go? Do you think they really lead into the trickery, allegations, and do you think like, you know, because I don't think every Nigerian man hates it. I can't lie.
I don't think they do. I think they act the same way they act, and I don't think the way that they won't be. I don't think Nigerian women perceive that as like if they're with Nigerian women, they're not perceiving it as tricking. Like for example, like you're in a club, right? Like maybe non-Nigerian women see this like, oh, they're
like
getting
a big deal.
Yeah, tricked on.
Not that
but
deep.
like Nigerian women don't see it as that.
It's a simple section.
They feel like, oh, they're getting hosted by
like as you should
their friends, man, or whatever, and they're all there.
Yeah.
But like everyone else is like, oh, I'm getting tricked on by these Africans.
Right.
Like,
that's so crazy to say
culture.
though.
Like,
The fact that it's said openly and fun. It's a joke now. It's kind of like crazy. Like, how do we get here?
Funny to me. And I kind of, as a Nigerian woman, it's kind of a unique position because like, it feels cringy to like, it kind of does me somehow, especially like when you have like male friends and stuff, but it's like, ugh, what I look like taking up for a man. But I feel like it's so weird kind of the way the
people talk about it.
It's very like, you don't even you speaking this way. Exactly. You don't feel like you don't think it sounds kind of weird. Like, how does this roll off your tongue? Like, we with the Africans, we have like, whoa.
Because I mean, like, you guys have male friends.
Right.
If they invite you somewhere, you expect them to host you. Like, we just call it hosting.
Yeah, because that's what it is.
Because I invited you
out.
Really.
Like, if a friend invited you somewhere and then host you, like, why did they make me come here? And, like, you're not even, like, thinking and caring after me.
Cultural differences. There we go.
That's just...
Standard.
Do y'all naturally see, like, men, like, even that are, like, just your friends as, like, they have like a duty to like be like kind of like a protector and
but then how come it becomes a whole Nigerian woman transactional? They're greedy, they're this and that.
That's a small percentage.
That's a small percentage. That's just because of,
I don't think I've seen that.
I think that's just because scamming are like G-boys, you know, fraudsters. That's who like Nigerian men plus 2, 3, 4 men
are talking about, are complaining with. Okay, true.
And I can like also, you're speaking, I'm glad you said plus 2, 3, 4 specifically, because you're speaking from a Nigerian American stance, because you're both. And I feel like when there's less security, that's when you're more likely to see messages like, oh, like that's all these women want from me. I feel like the gold digging messaging comes out more with people who have less gold, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But,
do y'all think that the rise of like, well, just population-wise, there's more and more Nigerians just like in the West everywhere. Or whatever. Hey. Do y'all think that this whole like propaganda and like people like, you know, dating the different groups, do you think it has contributed to like tensions between the diaspora groups, you know what I mean? Between like Caribbeans, between Nigerians, between Black Americans? Do y'all think that it has like added tension or like relieved some tension between the groups?
I think personally, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Nigeria has kind of always been the flagship country that people think of when they think Africa. It's been, for the longest time, it was like South Africa, because people love Swahili and Kwanzaa. South Africa, Nigeria, and maybe Kenya. Those are the only people, and they don't even count Egypt as Africa because they're too advanced.
Egypt don't count them as
Africa. Exactly. So when you think Africa or West Africa, you think Nigeria. And I think that already there's always been some kind of contention in the diaspora between groups. And I'm going to specifically talk about Americans because we live in America. And we have firsthand experience of that. I feel like in general, Caribbeans are there's been less tension that I've observed between Caribbeans and Africans. We kind of have there's some kind of camaraderie there because they too often are immigrants when they come here. But I feel like in America, especially post-Wakanda, because again, we are in a unique vantage point to see how things have, and the general outlook has shifted on Africans in general. Wizkid was just accepting awards backstage less than 8 years ago. Less than 8 years ago, Wizkid, they literally slipped him an award under the table. So I feel like now that Nigerians are more in the spotlight, in pop culture, in music, in movies, it's cool. I feel like some people do love that, and by people I'm saying Americans, sorry. I mean, I'm calling it how I see it. And some people hate that. And I feel like American centrism and American exceptionalism and the xenophobia, regardless of race, it's a very American thing to not like the other.
Yes.
So I feel like we've seen, especially post-Trump, people are more comfortable in their
FBA.
Exactly. FBA, ADOS, all these foundational organizations who, first of all, I think it's so anti-intellectual to claim that you're Native American when you literally have a
Native Americans are not extinct, guys.
They're looking at you guys so crazy. But anyway, we've seen a lot of people kind of, go back to where you're from. You sound like the MAGA people you so-called hate.
Yeah.
And I feel like in general, if I had to generalize, I think generally people that are native to this country are kind of, they don't like the fact that Nigerians are kind of uplifted now.
I could see that.
What do you think?
I agree. And I feel like I think of it as if you're a Black American man and all your women are making memes and tweets for literally 5 years talking about Nigerian men, African, they're only getting African chicken on them. I'm with Africans tonight. There is sometimes going to be some kind of underlying of course, what the hell is that type of thing, you know?
So when you my friend Chin usually says Nigerians are colonizers. So I believe that when we went to South Africa last year and when we're like, oh, you guys are Nigerian, they're like, oh yeah, our men are stingy, we like Nigerian.
Hey,
so I feel like
look at this
going back to that topic of us being known as providers. Their men are now all known as non-providers.
Right.
And then that leads to the men having disdain for Nigerian.
Yeah, because we talked about that an episode or two ago, how they start calling South African women who date Nigerian men jalapenos. It's a slur.
It's a slur,
to date a Nigerian man. So even outside, and that's interesting because that's not even in America. That's on the continent. Right. People still, and even other countries, you'll see them talking about, I can't date Nigerian men, Ghana, this and that, or Nigerian men, it's always one or the other. It's never in between.
Literally. A Ghanaian woman just told me yesterday, because she was talking about how I don't like Ghanaian men, they're stingy, they're this. I'm like, damn.
I've heard of Ghanaian men though too, I can't lie. I've heard they're stingy.
I've heard it a lot, but my thing is this, how, first of all, y'all need to step it up. I'm so sorry. It can't always be Nigeria. Maybe reevaluate what y'all are doing in dating for your women to act this way. But I also wanted to ask y'all, do y'all think that the contention towards Nigerians, is it purely because of how Nigerian men are pedestalized and valued? Or do you think that the hating was going to happen anyway because we're so visible?
They've been hating Nigerians. It's just Nigerian men are just the most paraded visible. And the most hated right now. Not really hated actually. I think just paraded actually, period. Yeah, but before those Nigerian men, they always hate Nigerians too proud, they're too loud, they're too cocky, too flashy. People just don't like Africans on the continent have always felt a way about Nigerians, period. I think now we're just more like you said, we're on the spotlight and we're more worldwide. Shout out Ashake.
Also, our generation is
loud.
Weren't we the first kind of generation-ish to go through literally grade school?
Yeah, exactly. We're the first ones really to grow up with people. Yeah,
exactly.
Do you guys think the rise of Afrobeats contributed to the fall of or decline of hip hop?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so at all. And I feel like when I hear, because I've heard this sentiment before, I think that it's just, for instance, Nicki took a break for a few years. I'm so sorry, if no one steps up, if we don't pass the torch to the next generation, inevitably things are gonna fall off.
But I mean, look at Atlanta rap though. Doug was in jail. Future was on hiatus doing features for a while. what's his name? Playboy Cardi. No one knows what that nigga ever is.
He left to disappear.
Gunna was in jail as well.
Yeah.
Lil Baby had Yikes fallen off a little bit, and then it's Essence everywhere you go. I feel like, I don't know. Go ahead.
I just don't think hip hop has a global star. Like Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke has so much momentum.
Oh my god.
Pop Smoke was meant to be like, remember like how in the early 2000s, like you start seeing like those old Nollywood movies. They were like acting like they're 50 Cent. Like I think Pop Smoke is gonna be like that next global
star.
You know,
RP Pop.
So, like,
RP Pop. He was so young.
The world is just so global now. The NBA is trying to go global. Football's going to Africa and Brazil, whatever.
That's crazy.
I think hip hop doesn't have like
we don't need more CCE in Africa. No shade.
A global, like, not even just global. I just don't think hip hop is as diverse, and that's what caused it to start declining.
You think so?
And Pop Smoke was a diverse
I feel like
artist.
hip hop is very imitated though globally.
Like even speaking about like Nollywood and the fashions and everything, I feel like hip hop is. Like, I feel like American culture in general is what people look to. Like, it kind of sets the pace for trends and things like that. But I feel like also we can't really say that Afrobeats is the reason for this thing. I feel like that's putting a lot on Afrobeats.
And I agree. I don't think it's the reason either. I think they just happened around the same time. But I don't think it was... I do think that Afrobeats did rise while but hip-hop was kind of declining. But I don't think it's because of... It could have been
fatigue, though, because we were slapped with a lot of music during COVID. Like, a lot of music.
But do y'all really think hip-hop even has declined, though?
Yeah.
Okay,
they haven't had number one. I haven't had number one. Like, even like the way they're topping billboards and just like general like music charts for so long. We haven't had that for a minute. Like for a minute. Even think about, no shade, I'm really happy for Doechii. Or Doechii, I always say her name wrong. I haven't heard the album. Maybe people haven't heard. Have y'all heard the album?
But she's not my kind of music.
She's not. But I'm just saying the fact that like she won album of the year, hip hop album of the year, whatever, and we haven't. I feel like people aren't as tuned in to hip hop at all. And I feel like a lot of the hip hop headlines are now about Young Thug was in jail or this and that. I feel like it wasn't about the actual music.
Also, has it declined, or we're just getting older?
And and I was going to talk about. So? I don't even know about.
Like, you know what these high schoolers are listening to nowadays? I don't even know the name of the artist, but they listen to a lot of nonsense.
And just from personal experience. Like when like the Cardis, the Uzis, the Yachties, when they first came out, old heads were talking about the decline of hip hop. They were talking about like falling off. I feel like we still, even now, look at Yachty. Yachty has his own label. Even though he's kind of funny, he's still like technically on top. Drake is still on top despite everything. He's gonna be on top. He's Drake. Kendrick is still like, he just won 5 Grammys. I don't necessarily think that hip hop is declining. I think it's changed, but things changes expected.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that they've had to make room for more Afrobeats contenders in general, especially because like African artists are versatile. They can do a lot. They can do a lot of everything. Like they rap, they sing, they do this and that. They can make music with Bad Bunny. They can make music with like it's global appeal. It's mass appeal, and hip hop has mass appeal, but in a different way. So I think that it hasn't necessarily declined, but maybe like shifted over a little bit.
I don't know. I honestly feel like it's kind of declined, but I see what you guys are saying. That I can definitely see that. Yikes.
Not yikes.
Yikes.
So we all know a Nigerian man with a Black American baby mother. That's a crazy opener, isn't it? I mean, walk with us. So
let her land.
Let me land. So I know that you guys, if you're chronically online like we are, have been seeing the whole anti-BM discourse. It seems like every time there's a Black woman that's pregnant, there's people in the comments like, oh my God, how dare you fall in my hand, like this is so terrible, your child's gonna grow up in a wedlock, and oh my God. And also, by the way, did you know how harmful it is to be pregnant as a Black woman? Like, it's just a lot. And people are very like, it seems like angry when a Black woman is pregnant, especially out of wedlock, or they deem her to be successful. Mona Leo, Flo Milli,
Sky Jackson, Keke Palmer.
Yeah, and it goes on and on and on. So my questions to you guys are, do y'all think that the fear or like people's concern, do you think it's unfounded? Do you think that they could express it maybe in a different way? Do you think that those concerns are valid? And do you think that that affects, like, do you think that we should move away from that kind of quote unquote culture, especially in America? Like, what are y'all's thoughts on that?
I definitely think BM and BD culture should die because it's not helping, it's not strengthening the Black community, because the Black community in America is widening. It's including a wider diaspora. I feel like it doesn't help the community at all.
Right. If
people are just having a bunch of, you guys are having broken homes. Kids from broken homes statistically don't do as well as kids from a 2-parent household, a stable background. I do think the concerns are valid, but I think delivery is horrible. And I feel like people enjoy piling on people nowadays. Like
100%.
People like being negative, and people feel like because you're a celebrity or you have a some kind of like platform and we're behind a screen, because how can you be telling someone, like, I remember Coyle Ray, she said that she announced that her and Chippy Red were having a baby, and then a few weeks later she said, like, oh, he's cheating on me, I'm so sad. People are like, oh, abort it, it's not too late. That is really crazy. So an expecting showing mother to abort her child because of
the
whatever.
Is out to here.
Because she's a BM or what. I think it's it's inappropriate. I feel like it's also disgusting. It's because imagine a woman who is, that's so hurtful to read. Like that is not even safe for them to be getting that kind of messaging, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like, I don't know. I feel like BM culture should die, but I don't feel like people should be spamming people under their tweets like, hey, you're stupid, you're dumb. You're,
and then like, also, I'm so sorry, what do y'all think? What is your opinion? What do you think your opinion is going to do?
They're already pregnant.
Literally. like people just take too much stock. It's too late. Yeah.
And Trump said no more abortion. Hello. But what's your thoughts?
I mean, they're just
stay out of women's business.
Yeah. I know that's right. Yeah. You see the hesitation with the answer? Yes, that's very good. Good job.
Learn from him.
Excellent.
I'm in between. That's
okay.
You hear me say that? That's my plea the fifth.
Yeah. But what are your thoughts?
I agree 100% with you. I think that, I mean, you can look at the literature, you can look at the research. There is harm done when there's all these splintered families. And I'm so sorry, I don't know if it's remnants of we talked about Okonkwo, remnants of the polygamous culture, but it's not the same. It's not pre-colonial Nigeria where every family and all your BMs lived on one compound. You can't now be having a family in New York, a family in, there's no way to actually show up for all these children. So like, stop it. But also, I think that it's harmful. And it's always directed at the mother.
Okay.
The world hates women. They hate women, especially Black women. What are you going to do? Like, talk to the nigga who's literally popping out a kid left and right just because he feels like it.
Because really, it only gets to when it's like Nick Cannon or Cam Newton who have like a bunch of kids.
Who like, oh my God, to actually talk to the men.
Or like Future. But like people who have less.
We all know people like that.
You still have broken homes. Like you're still contributing to that. So why are we always telling them? How can you be in someone's comments saying kill your baby?
Like that's so crazy. And I'm like, if you want to, then do it. But don't be like it's
distasteful.
Yeah.
But let's move into our outs. We have a few outs.
And they're really interesting.
They're really interesting, guys. Yes. And they're centered around our in-between, our topic.
Of course, as we do.
Who wants to go first?
Let's let our guest start.
All right.
All right. This is titled, I am dating a Nigerian man long distance. Could he be using me for a green card?
Hey.
I'm using a throwaway account because I actually met my Nigerian boyfriend on Reddit. I'm a 24-year-old female from the US, and my boyfriend is a 28-year-old male and lives in Nigeria. We've been talking for 6 months now, and officially we're dating for 4 of those months. It's going perfectly. We just instantly connect on a deeper level. I'm absolutely smitten, and he appears to be as well. We talk all day, every day. We never miss a beat with each other. We even do FaceTime dates throughout the week. It is generally going very well between us. We've talked about our future, and he would love to move here with me. I have no problem with that because I'm dating him with hopes that we can be a normal couple in the same space one day. He's honestly perfect, and I do have love for him. But then sometimes I start to feel like maybe this is going too perfectly, and he's just using me for a green card. I honestly don't feel like any of his actions have indicated that he is. He's never asked me for money either. Provider. Okay, I see that. The only reason I started to think this is because of the stories I hear, and I don't feel like he's doing that, but maybe I'm blinded by my feelings. Could someone please give me some advice I should look on? ETA. From the comment section, I can only conduce that he's struck by a Yoruba demon. Whatever she means by that.
So crazy. Okay, so what are y'all's initial thoughts upon reading this?
Well, it almost feels like she got with the Nigerian man because of the stereotype that he's a provider, and she's had.
Where you get that from? She said he
doesn't ask for money. You know what I'm saying?
But so you got from that she got with him for tricking potential.
I didn't. I said provider. You're saying tricking.
Okay. Ooh. Okay.
There's a line.
I don't know the line. Personally, I don't know the line. Maybe that's the issue with Nigerian women.
I mean, well.
Do you think she should be worried? I guess would be the first question.
Yeah, she should be worried. Sure.
I think so too. The fact that she's like, it's like in her, it's really doing her. Yeah, like maybe you should be worried.
She definitely should be worried. Like if it's going too well.
Not one fight. He say sorry for everything.
Literally.
Yeah.
So
she should be worried.
I'm just sorry from the third line in when she said we met on Reddit, and he's even based in Nige. What does Smurley say? I'm so sorry. Like this is a normal format. This is not new. It's just they moved from sending emails to locating y'all on Reddit. Because if you're on Reddit, I'm so sorry.
Reddit's crazy.
Like, I've never heard that in my life.
They're probably like, to the femcell, easy target.
Both of y'all are red flags.
Yeah. Elon Musk, love you, Elon Musk. Fuck out, welcome the fuck out. Shouts out to Smart for real.
Who's Smart Lee?
You know, it's Charlie Poppy's artist, right? Is she signed to him?
Tomboy.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a stud.
You know that, they call him gentle investor.
Yeah, okay. No me say gentle. No me say he gentle. I'm so sorry. Just because everything's going sweet. He's based in Nice.
Okay. No, okay.
Yeah, very much scammer tunes. Yeah, this is just Love Scam 2.0. So, yeah, she should be
Yikes.
Yeah. Thoughts, Toni?
There's no way to know until you know for real, I feel like.
I think she knows for real.
I feel like if it's something that's really nagging you, like it's probably intuition telling you like this is not for real.
She's gonna have a dream in 2 days. That's when you should just leave it alone. It's my thoughts and opinions. Literally.
All right. Should I go next?
Yes.
All right. The title is My Ghanaian Parents Do Not Want Me to Date a Nigerian. Hello, I'm a 20-year-old female Ghanaian who has just started a relationship with a Nigerian 20-year-old male. I attend university and I'm in my third year, and it's just a bit ago that I learned that my parents don't like Nigerians and are adamant about me not dating a Nigerian, let alone marry one. This info was unbeknownst to me until after I was in talking stage with the person I'm currently dating. I had asked them how they felt about Nigerians after a conversation about dating preferences for me. They said they'd rather me date a white than a Nigerian. This had me very upset. From my dad's sentiments, he thinks they are opportunistic and shouldn't be trusted, while my mom doesn't like the culture. Of course, I don't share these sentiments at all. My boyfriend talks to his parents about me, and they ask about me from time to time as they know we're talking to each other until he's ready to tell them that we're dating. He is so kind, understanding, disciplined, patient, and compassionate that I feel so discouraged that my parents feel as though he is nothing of the sort. My mom actually has told me that she doesn't think he's a bad person at all. She's seen pictures of him and comments that he's quite handsome and such, but she doesn't want me to be involved with a Nigerian. They think the cultures will clash. I have tried to have conversations about it with them, but to no avail. Their stance remains the same. I'm really unsure of what to do. I told my boyfriend how my parents feel about him, and of course, I would never want him to disown his culture and such. He says if they meet him, he thinks they'll actually like him, and I agree. So that's the whole...
I think there's more.
Oh, is there more? Mm-hmm. Ooh, girl, where?
Sorry, maybe okay. I'll just finish it up.
Okay, finish it.
I've tried to seek out advice from a friend and my brother, but I just keep racking my head around it, and it has me quite down to the point where I even cry after the fact when my mom brings up her distaste for me pursuing him. This is my second boyfriend, and my first boyfriend I also hid from them. They knew we were talking, but he was African American, and my parents, mostly my mom, said that they were okay with that, but no to Nigerians? It's complete bigotry. I'm really unsure what to do. Do I just stick it out and hope they come around? I truly do feel like my boyfriend is a person worth waiting for, as early as it is. But I wish I could explore our relationship more, where I could be more open with my parents about him. Mind you, I'm the eldest and the only daughter, so it's definitely frustrating. Sad face. Thoughts?
I feel like you're of age, you're a junior in college, and I feel like you need to decide, is what I want more important to me, or my parents want for me more important to me?
Right.
Are you bad or not? That's what it comes down to, because even if you and this guy break up, who knows who you're going to end up with next and how they may feel about it. I feel like I need to decide, like, am I dating for me, or like how important is my parents' approval? Which if it is, that's fine. Some people are like that, but I think you need to, like, you're having panic attacks and crying over this. It's like, pick a side. And then even as a boyfriend, if that was my brother, after a while, it's insulting and it's exhausting. No one's gonna do that forever. So I think you need to figure out for you what's important, like relationship or my parents' approval. And honestly, college is a time to show your parents you're bad.
Simple.
So
you know a little bit about that.
100%.
What do you think?
Me?
Mm-hmm. Let's say this was you, actually, a Ghanaian girl dating you, and she's like, hey, babe, like, I really like my parents don't like you. They don't want to meet you. They said they'd rather me date Chad than you. What are your thoughts?
Chad or Tyrone?
I feel like, honestly, the first thing that came to my mind is I feel like the parents are trying to protect the daughter from...
the PR?
Not only that, I feel like they're scared that the boy's parents won't even accept her.
But why are they jumping the gun, though?
Because they're trying to train her.
Are Nigerian parents really that picky about who their Nigerian sons date?
We're definitely isolation.
Yes, and we spoke a little bit about this before we got on camera. Of the West Africans, because we have friends that are like from Sierra Leone, Ghana, like Gambia. people, I feel like in West Africa, outside of Nigeria, more likely to be mixy. So this out kind of surprised me because really, generally, it's the other way around, where it's a Nigerian parent being more picky about who their child is dating. Yeah.
You also remember the Ghana Must Go movement.
But I feel like everyone's past that. No,
not everyone.
I'm sure not everyone. Because now we have like a friendly relationship with Ghana, like generally speaking, you know. So,
but that's us. We don't know how the older generation still.
Okay, that's true.
We didn't have that in like
true.
What, 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Okay,
dang, that was when they built the wall of Nigeria era.
Me personally, I feel like Toni said, you have to, especially, I'm the eldest and I'm the only girl, so I really relate to this.
Yeah.
You must actually push them. I'm so sorry. If you're pussy, you're gonna be pussy forever. So you have to show them who you are. Like, you're in college. I'm sure you're a smart girl by the way you typed. I just feel as though you're doing everything right.
Yeah.
You can't now let them, there's a line. You have to have boundaries with everybody, including your parents, especially your parents.
Yeah.
Especially if you're the oldest, been a good girl, you probably never got into trouble. Even the way you're typing, you're a very good girl. Love that for you. Awesome, fantastic. You must have some bad. You just have to.
And even if it's not
about you for an idiot.
Yeah, it was not about this thing specifically.
It's the principle.
In general, they're gonna can make you do what they want you. Yeah. So even if you and the guy don't end up together, I think you should fight this one. Just to show like this is actually my life. Like I respect what your opinion, but like
no. Like,
but I mean, I was still dating the guy. Like, girl, you want to date him or not? For real.
And that's the thing also, like the whole, I hid my first boyfriend from them. You're tired of hiding, so stop hiding.
Yeah.
Like that's just how I feel about it.
You will hide forever, guaranteed.
Literally. And you don't want that. You don't want to be 27 and still like, oh my God, I'm so scared to introduce you, babe. He's gonna look at you like you're crazy. No. Yeah, so just be bad. Be bad,
Africans,
be bold.
girl.
Literally. No, market is selling. So if you don't want somebody else to snap him up. Okay, next out. This one gives a little context before she gets into the question. She says she's a young Nigerian woman in her mid-20s, lives in the U.S. She grew up in a toxic 2-parent Nigerian household, only has one brother. Her parents were well-to-do, but they ended up getting a divorce finally, which was probably for the best. And the dad cut off all ties with her. Okay. And she said, presently I have no communication with my brother and mother, marking the disintegration of our family. Okay, here we go. I wanted to provide some context before asking my question. Here's another backstory. So I married a Nigerian man 4 years ago, largely influenced by my mother. She actually introduced me to him. Despite loving the image he portrayed, I discovered that he lied about almost everything. Hesitant to proceed with the wedding, I followed through due to my naivety, my mom's advice, and my love for him. During our honeymoon, I gave him a chance to confess, but he claimed to have disclosed everything, which was obviously untrue. Currently, he's in Nigeria and I'm in the U.S. Uncomfortable with the revealed truths, I halted the immigration process. My mother, when I expressed a desire for divorce, stated and told her that I was no longer happy, responded with societal expectations and outdated views on marriage. What will people say, she said. Marriage is for the better and for the worst. I find myself, here we go. Last year, I took control, deciding to divorce him and focused on my healing journey, aiming to become the best version of myself for the future. I find myself stuck in my past, having grown up in the U.S. and now unsure of how to navigate my divorce proceedings in Nigeria. I don't trust my ex-husband. Yes, I refer to him as my ex because we're very much separated. That is where the challenge lies. I fear harm if I have to return home to initiate the divorce proceedings. As the sole financial support for myself, juggling school and bills, especially in this current economy, I currently lack the financial means to book a flight. Any advice or recommendations for lawyers? I just want to officially close this chapter in my life.
So she's saying, in summary, she's trying to figure out how to divorce him?
Yeah, so she's scared to go back to Nigeria to divorce him legally in Nigeria. And my thing is
her family's based in Nigeria.
He's based in Nigeria. He never came here. But my thing is, not to be like Western and American and centrist, whatever, but like doesn't American marriage kind of trump? Is that a crazy question? And does she have to go back if she already initiated it here?
She wants to divorce him in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Babe, leave that marriage in Nigeria. You're in America.
I don't think she has to.
It's how I feel personally.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think?
There's just so much lawlessness in Nigeria. She'd be all right. She doesn't need to divorce.
Unless you plan to marry again in Nigeria. It's not like you don't have any... I don't know.
And she said she was raised in the U.S. Her parents are divorced. She's not even speaking to her mother and brother. She didn't even... First of all, I'm nosy. What did he do? What did he lie about? She didn't tell us what he lied about.
She can file as a single person, right? When she's here. She's technically single.
Yeah.
She's been here,
she halted the immigration process for him.
Yeah, for him. So I don't even think...
She shred those papers.
It's unnecessary stress. And she even said she's in her mid-20s. If you're 24 to 26...
You don't talk to him.
Literally.
Maybe you're a free agent. You've been a free agent, actually.
You don't have any issues asking for advice here. You've literally you're free. And congrats, you don't have a kid. Thank God. Like, thank God. That's another thing about the BM thing. It makes it harder to, like, leave a person alone if they're, like, trash. You got out scot-free. Congratulations to you. And he's not even in the country. Whoa. She won.
Yeah.
She's up. Love that for her.
Yeah, dang. She got a lot going on. All that pretext was, like, a lot. Like,
and
girl.
she said she can't afford the flight back home. You didn't need to be married in the first place. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you think for a woman to be married, because obviously, like, you know, men put a lot of emphasis on, like, you know, they have to be financially stable for their marriage. Do you think that women need to be financially stable for their marriage as well?
120,000%.
Yeah.
Like, even if you talk to older women, they'll tell you that you must have your own money just in case of anything. You can't put all your trust in a person ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh.
Especially if you want to have kids, like, you should have things in place to where if something goes wrong, God forbid, no one wants to plan for, you know, terrible things.
Yeah.
If something goes wrong, you want to be able to, like, sustain yourself and have your own lifestyle and etc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in conclusion, what's the conclusion, guys? In conclusion,
if
you're from the slums, India Love will not save you. Okay,
won't.
thank you.
Thank you.
Neither will Alexa Sky or whoever else you're trying to get in music video. Like, please. What else?
Nigerian men feel objectified, but low key, if you're in the section, you're gonna get a bottle. But, like, keep it cute and act like you've been somewhere before. Just take your cute little Casamigos, pass it to the next girl, ask for the hookah tip, have fun, you know. But
act like you've been there. Don't be too excited. Be cool.
Literally,
be cool.
Act like you've been somewhere before. It's not that serious. What else? Stop hating on Nigerians. We didn't do anything. We just lived life and did us. I don't know.
Don't be mad. Just join. What else? Any closing remarks?
Yeah. What do you want them to know?
What did that boy Don Jazzy say? Doro is a cheerful giver. So Nigerian men, we're cheerful givers.
After we just said no, like, look at this guy. After we trying to defend y'all and say don't objectify them, you're talking about a cheerful giver.
But that's the whole thing, though. That's the line. That's just how we are.
Yeah.
It's not that serious, you know.
He don't love you because he.
Yeah.
And we still need to get between tricking versus providing, because I really don't know.
Because trick lives matter.
They do the most, actually.
Oh yeah. And where can I find you and your business?
So you can find me on Instagram at Chibunine, so CHIBUNINE. You can find my business, Oak Deluxe, Oak Collection, Oak Collection US, all of that. Exactly the name I just said.
Period.
Right here. You can ping, what do you call it? I'm about to say ping. I'm talking about work. DM me, DM the page, whatever. Book an appointment. We got you, man. Shout out.
And as our manager, what can our IBTFC expect from our management team this year?
Quickly.
Plead the fifth on that one.
Oh, boo.
Okay.
All
guys.
that is under contract. We're not meant to be talking about
Okay,
that.
need to know basis.
They know.
Okay, y'all will find out.
Any other managers that would like to inquire, compete with him and his team? Just know we're
They
always
like
taking
me.
we're
They love
able
me,
to be
guys.
bots.
They love me.
Nigerian women, there we go. That's our PR. You know?
But thank you guys for tuning in to
Love
the In-Between Pod. Send us dilemmas, questions. What are your thoughts on Nigerian men, Nigerianness in the Western world, the state of blackness as a global happening or blackening, period. And yeah, follow us on what?
The In-Between Pod with 2 E's.
2
and the
E's.
V everywhere.
Yeah.
You can click our link tree. For our curious cat, talk to us. Stop being so lame and fake shy. Thank you. Love y'all. Bye. That's massive, baby.